I remember those days of being hungry. I remember those days of being broke. I remember those days of car breaking down, can't afford to get it fixed. I remember those days. So I tell people this all the time. Remember where you come from, but never lose focus of where you're going.
Let you know, man, you are really encouraging me, motivating me, inspiring me. God is really using you to help me
What's
out.
going on, family? I want to welcome you to AOS, the podcast. I'm your host, Mr. AOS Inspires. This is what I need you to do. We're on every single platform, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. I need you to go and subscribe and follow us right now. We drop content every single day that'll help you with your life, because our mission here at AOS, the podcast, is to empower the world to never give up, one conversation at a time, one interview at a time, one video at a time, to help you live life at the next level. I want you to live life on the next level. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you that's watching this episode. This is going to be a dynamic episode. I need you to dive in. Do me a big favor. I need you to like, share, and comment. Don't be a stranger. Comment with us. And this is what I need you also to do. I need you to copy this link right here on this podcast, this episode, and share it with at least 10 of your friends. I promise you, it's going to help them out. Let's jump into the episode. What's going on, family? Welcome to another episode of AOS, the podcast. Now let me clear the big elephant in the room real fast. This is going to offend a lot of people. And rightfully so. I want to ruffle some feathers on this one, right? Because a lot of y'all, I know if y'all looking at the thumbnails, you're already looking at the description like, yo, what is he talking about? Let me start off saying like this. I can't stand, let's really be honest, I can't stand when people will say, hey, money is not everything. Usually people that say money is not everything are generally those that don't have no money, right? Or never had no real substantial amount of money, right? Now, when I say substantial amount of money, I'm not talking about 10, 20, 30,000, because many of you get back, if you have a lot of kids, you get back to 10,000, 11,000, 13,000, depending on how you do your taxes. I ain't talking about like that. I'm talking about like real money, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars at your disposal, or that's flowing through your hands, flowing through your company, whatever. That's what I'm talking about. So let me really peel back this episode, because many people love to hang with people that they feel comfortable with. And I'm just real. Many people, let's really be honest. Many people love talking and hanging with people that they feel comfortable with. Whenever you get in their presence, this is real talk. I mean, you may be confident, right? But you feel comfortable around the people that you feel comfortable around. Like, say that you're the type of person that makes $30,000 a year. A person that makes $100,000 a year, right? Maybe, I'm gonna really break this down. Maybe cool, but ultimately you won't feel as comfortable around them as you do your $30,000, $20,000, $40,000 friends. Let's really be honest. Why? Because conversation is going to be different. That's number one. Conversation is going to be different. Taste is going to be different. What you can afford and what they can afford will be drastically different. And I tell people this all the time. It's not how much you make, it's how much you're able to keep. Not only is how much you're able to keep, but can you consistently make this money? That's a big one, because many of y'all incomes fluctuate, but that's real though. Like, you need to be around somebody that's obsessed with money. You need somebody in your circle, right? Or somebody that you're around a lot, not sometimes, but a lot, that's obsessed with money. And the reason I say that, let's put this in retrospect. Let me clear another big elephant in the room. I feel, this is just me personally, I feel that if you just want to make $100,000 a year and you're cool with that, you're selfish. Why? Because $100,000 a year is just enough for you to take care of you and your family and live some type of comfortability and live okay, right? Especially if you live in your means and you're not just a crazy, extravagant spender. I mean, it's cool in your means. I think that you're selfish. I really feel, and many of you, when I posted something like this a couple months back, you guys just daggered me in the comments. I feel you don't want to retire your mom. I feel you don't want to retire your dad. your sister, your brother, somebody. Listen, we are not an island by ourselves. We all have had help. We all need help. You don't want to reach back and change somebody's life that has changed your life. Now, I get it. Many people will say this. You can change somebody's life by just speaking life to them, giving them some encouraging words. Yes, that's cool. That's cute. That's cute. But in order to really change, like, for example, I hate it. I can't stand, especially when church folks be like, I'm going to pray for you. Okay, cool. Your prayers are great, but listen, we're hungry. Like, I need some money to get some food. Or, yeah, please pray for me. But I need some money so I can pay my bills. That kills me. People say, oh, you're in my thoughts. I don't, listen, that's cool that I'm in your thoughts, but I need you to go in your bank account and get some money. And I feel like that even with 100,000, you can help people to a certain level, right? You may be able to give them 1,000, 2,000, maybe even 5,000. You may be able to do it like that. Depends on if you're a good steward of your money, right? But that's not life-changing. Like, you can help somebody out for a couple months or 2 months or 3 months. What's going on, family? I know that you're enjoying the episode, but I had to pause to ask you a quick question. Have you ever been through anything in life that was so life-altering that it changed your life forever? I mean, have you ever been and had a job and you lost that job? I mean, your dream job. You lost that job for whatever reason. Maybe you're an entrepreneur. You started a business and the business started off great and then it seemed as if it was going downhill. And now you're at a place, you lost your marriage, you lost your children, you lost some major things in your life. And now you're at a place in life where you're like, hey, this is the end of the road. I don't see it getting better. I got news for you. It will get better. And I wrote a book just for you. It's entitled Winning After a Major Loss. You need to go and get your copy. Go to barnesandnoble.com, go to amazon.com, get your copy right now. Winning After a Major Loss. I promise you, it's going to change the trajectory of your life. It's going to change your mindset. Most importantly, it's going to change your heart about your situation, because I promise you, you can win after a major loss. Go get your copy now. Barnes & Noble's, amazon.com. Order your copy now. Let's get back to the episode. Not years to come. Not change their life drastically. Yes, and I get it. Many of you are going to say something silly and stupid like this. Oh, I can teach a person how to get money. Now, with that regards, everybody, because think about this, look at the level of success. Whatever level of success is all relative. Success is relative. Depends on how you view it. Look at the level of success that you believe that you have reached right now, right? Did you get there in 30 days? Really think about that. Did you get there in a year? Did you get there in 2 years? Did you get there in 5 years? Did you get there in 20 years? Meaning there's a process to arriving to the destination that you're currently on now. So it kills me. I'm going to teach somebody how to fish. Suppose mentally they're not there yet. Maybe you just need to sow a seed. Like, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pay your bills up for a whole year. But if you're making $100,000 a year, you can't do that. Why? Because there's going to be expenditures that you want to do. There's going to be expenditures that you have to pay for because, you have a lifestyle that you want to live, and you make just enough to take care of you and your family. You don't make surplus where you're able to take that money and help them and say, listen, I'm going to pay your bills for a year. I need you to focus on your goals. Like, focus on one goal and just go hard at it. Research it. Learn. You're not in position to do that. You don't want to be in position to do that. Like, to me, that's just me. I'm just speaking about me. If it hurts your feelings, I'm glad that it does. Because it's so stupid when people say, hey, money is not everything. Okay, cool. Money is not everything, but you can't do nothing without it. Name some good stuff, right? Name some. Even the free stuff is not that enjoyable. Like, when was the last time you went somewhere and got it for free? Right? Like, when I think about free, I think about basic, right? I think about entry level, right? I mean, I can't really think about it right now because, I'm running, my gears is running right now with this. But generally, when you hear something for free, it's always another level that's higher than the free, right? And the level that's higher than the free is not all that good, but you pay for that entry level. Free is not always good. Many of you, I'm going to tell you this, many of you have did And this is real. This is real. All right. So we go to Master Nutting almost every single year. There's a resort called Master Nutting, right? And you can get, if you have a timeshare, you can share your timeshare, and they just sit through a 1 hour presentation. And when they sit through that 1 hour presentation, if they take it, they take the deal that they give them. If they don't take a deal, cool. They give you another opportunity to go somewhere else for free. Right now, when you come to Master Nutting on this free trial or this free gift from the person that owns the timeshare, you don't get to stay in the luxury places because it's free. You stay in the hotel where all the other people, regular people, are staying at. You don't stay in the luxury spots. You stay in the old hotels. I mean, it's still clean, still nice, but it's not at that level that you can be like, yo, this is plush. Nah, because free doesn't come like that. So, meaning, so many of you all would say money is not everything. Or another thing that you guys say, not only do you say money is not everything, but is that all you talk about is money? Yes. Let's get to the money, right? Because money is going to be the very factor that can change your life. And the biggest point that I want to bring home before we get too deep into this episode, the biggest point that I want to bring home is without the money to change your life, you can't spend the time that you really want to spend with your family. And right now in this moment, I'm talking to every single parent, right? Because I get it. You're like, I'm an entrepreneur, but anytime you're exchanging your time for money, you're finding yourself, going down a rabbit's hole, right? Anytime you have to do X, Y, Z to produce money, you're in a trap. Now, and I'm not saying that you're not making good money. I get it. I understand. It's like I said, it's a process. We all have to go through our process. But I really find it selfish if you're like, listen, I'm cool with making $100,000 a year. I'm cool with making $200,000 a year. I don't want to be a millionaire. You're selfish. You're selfish. And then many of you will say this. Now, I'm going to put this in really, really retrospect, for real, for real. I can help somebody out without being a millionaire. Yes, you can, but you cannot drastically change somebody's life. You cannot, and I get it. Some of y'all are going to leave in the comments some amazing things that you have done that has changed somebody's life. However, if you have somebody that's on their sickbed that needs a transplant, look at the movie John Q, right? He had to raise a certain amount of money so that his son can get a heart, right? Now, I'm not saying that, money is the answer to, and that's relative too, because a lot of people will say money doesn't bring happiness. Yes, it does. Because if I give you $1 million right now, tell me you won't be happy. And it may not last long, but tell me you won't be happy. So money does buy happiness. That's a different scenario. Anyway, but that's not what I'm talking about. But you're sick, right? And you don't make no money. And you need this medicine to maintain. Now, that's a totally different conversation, because I truly believe that if you go all vegan, and eat a real plant-based diet, not this fake meat I'm talking about fruits and vegetables, right? If we really get on that, I truly believe that it can cure all ailments, but that's for a totally different conversation. However, if you have a sickness and you need these pills, I picked up a guy that I met a few weeks ago. He said that his 29-year-old son died 2 years ago because he had felt like he was working out. He had lost a lot of weight. And he felt like he didn't need the high blood pressure pills anymore, right? And he died. He thought he was fit enough. Now, he had the resources. He had the money to keep buying it. But suppose you're in a position where you need XYZ medicine, but you can't afford it. But remember, money is not everything. Now, I'm looking at it from that perspective, but let's transition to another perspective. If you don't have friends around you that's obsessed with money, if you don't have people that's around you that's obsessed with money, now, when I say obsessed, I'm not saying love money to the degree they'll do anything for it. No, I'm not talking about that. Because there are morals, there are values, there are characteristics of a person that should be pure, right? As it pertains to money. I'm not saying that you love money, that you are killed for money, that you do anything for money. But what I'm saying is you have an infatuation. You're obsessed with money to the degree like I want to live life at the next level. You need people around you. This is the main reason why I created this episode, because so many of you are around people that are cool at being a 20,000aire. Like they're cool with making, and it's bananas, because many of you have gotten to the place like working at McDonald's. I mean, no shade to nobody working at McDonald's. Like, you do what you got to do at the level that you're on with the understanding that you have, right? I get it. But many of you are cool with working at McDonald's, and this is what you do because you don't have people that around you that's obsessed with money. Well, this is what you do. You work at McDonald's and you make it work. Like listen, that's not a lifestyle that I want. So many of you are only making $20,000, $30,000 a year. And instead of saying, you know what, I'm just going to gamble it all on myself, right? I'm gonna just save up $2,000 and invest into this course, this training, so that I can get the knowledge, because that's how you change your life, is with knowledge, right? That's how people get obsessed with money, because money allows them access to knowledge, allows them access to a better life. But many of you are not around people that look at life from that perspective. They make $20,000 a year at McDonald's, $15,000 a year at McDonald's, $17,000 a year at a fast food restaurant, and they become content. They say that they want more, but they don't do what it takes to get more. So I have adopted and I have compartmentalized how I'm going to make this $20,000 work. Like, I know that I can't get new shoes every year, so what I do is I just go to the thrift store. So now, you don't level up, right? You really dummy yourself down. Like, I'm a big fashion person, so I'm gonna just go to the thrift store. I can't afford to go to the mall. Do you like living that type of life? The reason I say this is because when you get around people that's obsessed with money, what they would do is they will push you to greatness, because it's inevitable to be around somebody that's really living life at another level and you don't stumble across some type of success. It's inevitable. Success is going to come. You hang around 10 millionaires every single day for a year. You hang around 10 millionaires every single day. You become great friends with 10 millionaires every single day for a year. I guarantee you by the end of that year, you're going to stumble across $500,000 for yourself. It's a guarantee. Guarantee. At least $500,000. At least. Why? Because they're going to have such high level conversation around you, right? Especially if you're really friends. But let me scratch that off the table. It's less than likely. I'm not talking about you do a service for a millionaire. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you're hanging with them and you're doing a service for them. Right? And even with you doing a service for them, you'll stumble across an opportunity to make more money, right? It may not be millions, but it'll be a little money, right? But I'm talking about you guys are friends. The conversation will be different. But for the most part, it's difficult for people that have no money or broke people to get into the company of millionaires. Why? Because we see life at a different level. We see life on different terms. We think on different wavelengths. So it's kind of hard to get meshed in. Just like for a prime example, I love using this example. A person that makes $20,000. I'm not saying that you're not a nice, charitable person, but it's not common that a person that makes $20,000 a year, that has a house or apartment, have a car, just barely making it, hanging out or spending a lot of time with the person that's homeless. You're not. Why? Because we're not on the same level of thinking. It's not that the person that makes $20,000 is better than the homeless person. We just don't see life at the same angle. The person that makes $20,000 a year will like, listen, I'm not being homeless. I'm going to go to work. Watch this building block that I'm about to make, right? The homeless person, the $20,000 person that makes $20,000 a year don't really have too much in common as it pertains to mindset. Said so, the $20,000 a year person doesn't have much in common with the person that makes $75,000 a year mentally, right? I'm not talking about you don't listen to the same music, you don't like the same movies. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about mindset at this point. So the person that makes $75,000 may have similar conversations to those that's making $250 a year, but the mindset is still going to be different. It's going to be different. We may be talking about similar things when you get to a certain level, but our mindset will be different. I need people that's going to challenge me to be better. I love being around people that's obsessed with money. Now, key point, if you got to this place in this video, then you're going to catch it. I am obsessed with money, but money does not control me. That's a fine line. Why do you say that? I'm obsessed with money, but money does not control me. Money does not dictate what I will and what I won't do. I'm obsessed with it. Why? Because I want to be able to change people's lives. I have a plan right now that's written down that will change thousands of people's lives every single year. I have it. That's what I want to do. I have to keep on producing. That's why I come to you. That's why I'm so consistent with this podcast. That's why I'm producing books. That's why I'm doing speaking engagements, right? Because I'm building a wealth system here. Because not only what's going on, family, I know that you're enjoying the episode, but I had to pause to ask you a quick question. Have you ever been through anything in life that was so life-altering that it changed your life forever? I mean, have you ever been and had a job and you lost that job? I mean, your dream job, you lost that job for whatever reason. Maybe you're an entrepreneur, you started a business, and the business started off great, and then it seemed as if it was going downhill. And now you're at a place, you lost your marriage, you lost your children, you lost some major things in your life. And now you're at a place in life where you're like, hey, this is the end of the road. I don't see it getting better. I got news for you. It will get better. And I wrote a book just for you. It's entitled Winning After a Major Loss. You need to go and get your copy. Go to barnesandnoble.com, go to amazon.com, get your copy right now. Winning After a Major Loss. I promise you, it's going to change the trajectory of your life. It's going to change your mindset. Most importantly, it's going to change your heart about your situation, because I promise you, you can win after a major loss. Go get your copy now. Barnes & Noble's, amazon.com. Order your copy now. Let's get back to the episode. I remember those days of being hungry. I remember those days of being broke. I remember those days of car breaking down, can't afford to get it fixed. I remember those days. So I tell people this all the time. Remember where you come from, but never lose focus of where you're going. Y'all missed that in the back. Let me say that again. Never forget where you come from, but never lose focus of where you're going. So I remember those days. So as I begin to come out of the water or come out the hole, I'm going to reach back and pull somebody else and help them out. Not giving it to it, not just giving you, hey, here's $1 million. Here, go do your thing. No. I want to help you, right? But as I help you, it's going to take resources to help you. I can't just say, you know what, come along, just follow me, trail me. I can't trail you all day. I got to go to work. I got bills to pay. Like, I got a family to take care of. But with money, I can say, follow me, let me help you out, just shadow me. Don't worry about your bills. I cover it. Matter of fact, give me all of your bills. I'm going to pay it up for a year. Resources, money allows you to do that. Being broke doesn't. That's the only point that I'm trying to drive home. Being obsessed with money is a great thing. Because when you're in the company of those that are obsessed with money, you won't become comfortable at the level of living that you are. Two things is going to happen, and many other things will happen, but two major things is going to happen. You will be inspired by their lifestyle, but also you're going to be challenged by their lifestyle. Because the truth of the matter is, if you hang with somebody long enough that's really getting it, that's obsessed with money, that wants to always frequently live life at the next level, you're going to be inspired by what they have, because you see what they have and you see what you don't have, right? And it's not about comparison. It's not about material things, but there are some things, let's really be honest, even a broke person, there are some things that you can't afford that you really desire, right? So there's some things that you desire that you can't afford. So they inspire you. But not only do they inspire you, they should challenge you as well. They should challenge you to the degree where you look at your life and be like, man, like, yo, I see you changing people's lives financially, right? I see you giving people opportunities. I think that you're really selfish when you're like, listen, all I want to do is make $100,000 a year. Why? Because with millions, not only can you just change somebody's life, but you can employ people and allow them to make money that they never made before and allow them to live life at a certain level. That's why I go so hard. That's why I don't give up. I can't give up. It's impossible. I'm not giving up. Like I'm too close to the pinnacle of really cracking the code with this content creation and podcasting space. I told you I'm on the road to building an 8-figure podcast all day long. I am currently on the road to building an 8-figure podcast. I tell you this all the time. I post about it all the time. I'm not hiding from it. I want you to hold me accountable. I told you this. I posted this. If you go back to on Facebook and you look at it, I made a post. I put all of my numbers currently January the 19th. If you can scroll back on Facebook, go back to January the 19th. It's a long way, right? I know. We're in September. You go back to January. It was September the 11th right now. You go back to January and you go back to January the 19th. I posted all of my numbers across the board on every single social media platform. Now you look at my numbers now. I 10x Instagram, right? I think I 1x'd. No, I think I 2x'd, 2 or 3x'd TikTok. I definitely 1x'd. Well, I did more than 1x. I think I 3x'd YouTube. Like it's just really growing. I'm obsessed with this thing. I'm obsessed with making money. Money doesn't control me. Money doesn't dictate me. But I'm obsessed with it. Why? Because I want to give people opportunities. There's people that don't want to work a 9-to-5, that wants to work for an entrepreneur, right? That wants to create something that can change the world or change people's lives forever. You have a gift. You have the opportunity to do the research, do the work, to be in position to change somebody's lives, but you're too lazy. Like you would rather just work at 7-Eleven, and I'm not saying nothing wrong with these jobs, but when you work a job, a 9-to-5, you will never be in position to be your boss's neighbor. Never. Only way you can do that is one of two ways. What's going on, family? I know that you're enjoying the episode, but I had to pause to ask you a quick question. Have you ever been through anything in life that was so life-altering that it changed your life forever? I mean, have you ever been and had a job and you lost that job? I mean, your dream job. You lost that job for whatever reason. Maybe you're an entrepreneur. You started a business and the business started off great and then it seemed as if it was going downhill. And now you're at a place, you lost your marriage, you lost your children, you lost some major things in your life. And now you're at a place in life where you're like, hey, this is the end of the road. I don't see it getting better. I got news for you. It will get better. And I wrote a book just for you. It's entitled Winning After a Major Loss. You need to go and get your copy. Go to barnesandnoble.com, go to amazon.com, get your copy right now. Winning After a Major Loss. I promise you, it's going to change the trajectory of your life. It's going to change your mindset. Most importantly, it's going to change your heart about your situation, because I promise you, you can win after a major loss. Go get your copy now. Barnes & Noble's, amazon.com. Order your copy now. Let's get back to the episode. Always through ownership, investing, or starting a business. That's the only way that you can grow to the place where you can live next to the boss of Target, the CEO of Target, or Jeff Bezos, or Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan. That's the only way. You name, listen, and many of you are gonna get really creative, and it's all cool in the game. I'm with the smoke, but you cannot list not one job that you can work, and it will provide you a lifestyle where you can live next to Jeff Bezos. I'll wait. I would literally wait. Leave it in the comments wherever you're watching this at. I want to hear your thoughts. Right? You can't. I need you to be around people that's so obsessed with money that makes you feel uncomfortable living life at the level that you're living. They're going to make you level up. That's all I'm saying. Because especially if you have kids, you can't spend the time that you really want to spend with your kids. Why? Because daddy and mommy got to go make money. instead of having residual income, something that makes money for you while you're sleeping. Like, it's something to think about. You need somebody that's obsessed with money. Find them today. Get active. I'm out. What's going on, family? I want to say thank you for rocking with us during this episode. We have been so excited to drop this episode. I'm glad that you made it to the end. This is what I want you to do. If you have any takeaways from this episode, leave it in the comments. We want to hear your thoughts. We want to hear how you feel. I want to bring content to you that's relevant to you, that'll help you change your life, because you already know our mission here at AOS Inspires, AOS the podcast, is to empower the world to never give up, one conversation at a time, one interview at a time, one video at a time, to help you live life at the next level. This is what I need you to do. I need you to like, subscribe, share this episode. If it spoke to your life, share this episode with somebody. Why? Because you are connected to some people that we're not connected with. And with that connection together, we can empower the world to never give up. I'm Mr. AOS Inspires. This is AOS the podcast. I can't wait to see you next week. Just in case you didn't know, we drop every single week, 3 times a week. Mondays, 8 a.m., Wednesdays, 8 a.m., and Fridays, 8 a.m. You need to catch an episode. Matter of fact, catch all 3 episodes. It's going to be fire.